welcome to Cornucopia. Today we're going to be giving you guys some information on how to pack for your mule-supported trip, whether it's a backpacker support or a pack trip or even going into hunting camp, so that when you arrive here at the pack station you'll have some idea to help get things loaded up as fast as possible. So Jeff, my husband, and Lee, the mule, are going to help us today to go through that information.
So the first thing we'd like to show you is that often backpacker support or even drop camps for us arrive with a lot of miscellaneous items, which is often problematic for the packer who's trying to get you loaded up. You can still take those items with you, but if you showed up with those small individual items consolidated into one bag or one or two bags, that makes life a whole lot simpler, makes it easier to pack, and quicker for us to get rolling and out of here. Often pots and pans show up like this, an extra pair of shoes, a fishing rod. I'm going to try to show you how you can consolidate that stuff really simply and make it much easier for your packer when you show up, whether you're going with us or somebody else. So you see we got some miscellaneous items here. And anytime you can take your spare shoes, or sometimes fishermen have waders, things of that nature. We'll start consolidating items into one package. Take up every available inch of space you have. Try not to have pots and pans banging and rattling together. See, there's another bag here. It's mostly padded items, and so you can always put stuff into there. The other thing that shows up a lot that does not work is a bag similar to this. It looks like you just went grocery shopping, grabbed all your groceries and showed it up. Bags that have open tops, don't have a way to zipper them shut or to tie them shut, are often problematic. Things start falling out, usually get left or missed. So this sort of a bag in general is fine as long as everything fits in there and you can tie that shut. But like it is right now, things are just going to come out of it. And when I show you how I load it on the mule, you'll see why an open bag is often a problem. So that helped a lot just with doing that. You can zip this shut. And even small bags are fine, but if you can take these two bags, put them inside of like an army duffel bag or a bigger one to consolidate it into one more piece, so it's just one item, that works as well. Army duffel bags actually work really good for pots and pans and camp stuff. You get all that into one item and buckle it shut. We like things to be in pairs, so if you're truly a backpack support and you have a backpack and all we're doing is carrying your backpack in, these frame packs are fine as long as you've just packed your whole camp into that, just as if you were going to carry it down the trail. In this particular case, we just load one on each side of the mule and we're good to go if that's how you're choosing to do it. But most people are trying to take some extra things. They like to take extra food so they don't have to have dehydrated all the time, those sorts of things. So if you do have ice, wine, all sorts of extra items that are able to go along if my mule is going to carry it. Coolers are often something we get questions about. This size cooler, either one of them, is just about perfect. If you're going to use a cooler, I'd rather you have two of them and have 15 or 20 pounds in each one than I would end up with just one cooler that was 40 or 50 pounds, something like that. Unless you're going to have two of them, that's too big. If you got two of them, I'll put one on each side of the mule, but you've lost a whole entire mule to just food. If you have a big size group, maybe that works. But most of the time, if you pack wisely, you bring a little bit of dehydrated food and a few other extra items, these size of coolers work really good. I can load them in boxes and panniers, or I can mani them up as long as they're, and if you wanted to really help us out and weigh it, take a piece of tape. Once you know the weight of it, put a piece of tape on there and write how many pounds it is. And if you matched it with another cooler that was exactly the same weight, within 3 or 4 pounds, that would even speed things up better. So I'll move on to go ahead and making up some loads. I'll show you how I make up the loads and how I put them on the mule. It'll help you to visualize a little bit better what can go with you. Often one of the other items we get too are fishing rods. A fishing rod in a case is great. A loose fishing rod, not in a case, just these pieces out and about, will get damaged between here and wherever we're going. Your eyelets will get smashed, the tips will get busted off. So in a case is always the way to go. This is about the perfect length an example of one that's not so great. This one's a little bit too long. It certainly can be packed, but this is way simpler. So anything over about 3 feet or so is getting to be a little bit difficult to get into camp.